Gutterball 49 coming at you hot on a Thursday or Wednesday afternoon now. Ooh, threw me off a little bit. We got our wonderful brother and guest Joe joining us, and we got our co-host as always, Paul, down there. Gentlemen, how we feeling today? How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Paul?
Doing good. How about you, Joe?
Better than I deserve. Everything's great. Everything's great.
Right on. Cool.
How
Cool.
about you? Real important things. How are you? How are you?
Oh, I'm great. I'm doing great. Real quick, our camera and audio is going to be fine. Camera's going to be looking a little shady this whole cast. Got some bad connection.
Of course.
Lead in the walls,
As
apparently.
soon as you say that, it's perfectly fine now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yours looks,
Get all cleared
nice.
up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay.
All right.
Bless. Hashtag bless.
Jack, how have you been? How's your week been?
Good. More of the same old. Nothing super new to report. Just got a lot of awesome topics to crush through. Got about a little shorter show today, but we're feeling good. I'm hyped. I'm good to go. Been working out like a fucking workhorse, and I'm feeling good.
That's good.
Right on.
Joe, so what's new with you? But also, more importantly, how did filming for Doppelganger 2 go?
The short film Doppelganger 2. It was good. It was very interesting. I had limited lines, right? Short film, not a big deal. And they told the guys, they told me I'm like, do I need to practice these lines? And they're like, well, we're gonna do like 4 or 5 takes on each one, so it's fine. But it was interesting with filming because they just go action, and then all 3 of us had different lines, and I'm like, I didn't practice, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, so I had one of my vests on while I was shooting it, and I'd pull out the script in between each thing, and I look at it, and then I cram it back into my vest. It was fine. It was fun. It was for the I don't know, 15 lines or so, if that I had in the film. I mean, it was half day of shooting, so between everything, and it's good. It was interesting to see how they do it. Now there's a trailer out.
Send me that, and I'll put it in the description below if anybody wants to see the Doppelganger 2 trailer.
Are you in the trailer? Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the trailer. Yeah,
you are?
Then so I'm curious to see.
He's in the trailer.
When the final it's a trailer for the short film. I know, it's great. It's great. I just love it. But it was really neat to see the behind the scenes and how some of the shots that they take. Because I've never really been on a set of a film before, and how they take some of the shots and how they use editing later to, not only piece everything together, but like for example, we have guns, we have firearms in it, and there's actual shooting, but we don't like shoot while we're filming, right? Like there's no blanks in the firearms, so we don't have a situation like Baldwin. But it was just interesting because I'm like, I don't know how they're going to work that in. I'm assuming sounds and effects and lights and whatever to make all that. So it was fun. It was good. It was a fun day of shooting. They bought me lunch, and I got to hang out, got to meet some cool people, and
awesome. Yeah. Paul, I just got off the set of Doppelganger 3. I accidentally Baldwin the producer. Get me out of here.
Yeah, I fucked up, man.
I fucked up, man. That's good, man. I'm glad. When can we expect to see it? Like, when's it coming out? I know you said it's probably going to be on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's part of their short film series, and I don't know. It was kind of vague, the last message I saw about it. So I'm like, just see what happens. But I'll get you the link to the trailer, and then other than that, just coasting along. I had 3 days of teaching so far this week. I go to Chisholm, Minnesota tomorrow, the wild, bustling town of Chisholm, Minnesota, to teach HAZWOPER, which is hazardous waste operations and emergency response. So tell people not to lick a chemical if it spills on the ground, basically.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But it's blue. Now I can't feel my face. The whole jaws melting.
We'll never know what it tastes like, so someone's got to find out. It might taste good.
Hey, it's like the first person that tried cow milk, right? I mean,
you gotta know. Someone's got to find out.
I gotta try it. It's like, hey, this shit is good. Imagine trying to convince all the people, hey guys, This shit is good.
Yeah.
Right here.
You gotta get in on this.
Yeah, you gotta
right?
get on this, dude. I don't know if they'd be buying, man. I wouldn't.
They're sitting
I
there
wouldn't
with
be without
spears.
that.
They're like, ah, man, fuck, no.
Yeah, no, ew,
Are you
gross.
sure?
I know.
You
This is
sure?
just like this?
This doesn't seem
Is this
right,
how you do
though.
it?
And then that was the start of our stomachs being permanently fucked up by dairy, right there.
Yes. There you go. There
Mhm.
you go.
I don't know, man.
Stuff we shouldn't be consuming.
Even
No.
as a kid, I was never really big on milk other than it being in cereal. And like, I just get my dairy. I mean, like, I liked cheese or whatever, but I never really ate like a whole lot of it. I mean, I think I am like a little low key lactose intolerant with some things to certain amounts that are dairy, but I don't know. Like, I guess I was never like the drink a glass. Like, I had a buddy, dude, that would drink straight up a gallon of milk every day or something. Like,
No,
people
he
that are just
didn't.
like addicted to milk. Like, he'd have like 2-3 glasses in the morning, one at lunch, like the carton thing at lunch, and he'd drink like some when he got home. I'm like, Jesus, man, I'd maybe drink milk like once every fucking month. Like, I don't know.
My buddy Todd will show up to a job site at 6 a.m. with a half gallon of milk right out of the bottle, chugging it down. I'm like,
Damn.
ugh.
Oh,
Ugh.
Ugh.
he's
Especially
doing.
know-
once it starts warming up. If my milk isn't ice cold,
Oh yeah,
I'm like-
no. Once it's warm, oh, I'm out. Yeah, see you later. I never understood that old ladies trying to fall asleep with warm milk. Ew, get this shit away.
warm milk.
I'll give you
I
a
can
glass.
give you,
Shut the hell up.
yeah, I'll give you a nice warm glass of shut the hell up. You can go to sleep, or I will put you,
You
to
know,
sleep.
like in terms of like drinking gross things, like I think I'd rather drink, and I have. They're not that bad. Just pasteurize, like already cook like egg whites straight from the carton. They're not that bad. Trust me. You think they're gross, but they're not that bad. More plates, more dates got me onto that. I've done it a couple times.
Really? So what
But
is
I'd rather
that?
drink. It's egg whites, but are pasteurized, so they're already cooked, and like you're not gonna get sick from them, and you could just drink them right out of the gate, right out of the fucking package, and they're like, I want to say like 1 cup is like 10 grams of protein, maybe more, something like
Damn.
that. So it's a good ratio. But I'd rather drink that over warm milk any
Man,
day.
if we could get more plates, more dates on this show, that'd be sick. Like if I could get that guy as my personal trainer and dietitian, I would listen to every single thing that guy says. Joe,
Yeah,
more
I
plates,
would.
more
So
dates.
cool.
Is this guy named Derek? I use like all of his like protein and pre-workout products and stuff, but he is like gotten blood work and testosterone and things like that down to a science. Like even for people that don't want to use like a low amount of tea, like he has worked with people and within 6 months completely transforms people. You just got to fucking do everything he says. What are you going to eat today? And then just like slowly ramping things up, what to intake, what you should be eating. I mean, of course, that's easier said than done, right? You need to have a guy that knows all that shit and does it, but like his YouTube channel is very informational. It's a little dry in some aspects because like he gets very in depth with it, and it's just him sitting in front of a camera
He's
explaining
just-
everything to you.
He's essentially what you got is a nerd in a big man's body. Like this is a jacked man. Like
Yeah.
I rival. He's bigger than Arnold in his prime. He's fucking
Yeah,
huge.
he's fucking massive.
But he's
So-
just a genius.
So he's like, who's the Fallout 4 guy? Out he's the mutant, but he's the
Oh, that guy.
scientist.
Yeah, what is his name?
That's
what's his
Virgil.
name?
Virgil. His name's
Virgil.
Virgil. Yeah, in the
Virgil.
Yeah.
glowing sea.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's basically
Yeah, the
Virgil.
glowing sea.
He is basically Virgil.
I never
mean, a little
knew
more
there was
handsome than
a-
Virgil, but yeah.
I honestly have only played through Fallout 4 once. It had very little replayability
Really?
for me. Yeah, I only did one ending. Yeah, I should replay it. I've always go back to
The
replaying New
DLCs.
Vegas or something, but I've only went to the glowing sea once. I had no clue that there was a Jack super mutant out there. That's a scientist. I gotta go.
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
He's
to
cool.
go
You
get the
can transform
antidote
too.
for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
no, that guy was cool. No, Fallout 4, man, you got to play that. That DLC Far Harbor is really like fucked up. It's like rivals like Fallout 1 type fucked up, like in terms of the lore and stuff. But it's good. I love Fallout 4.
Okay. I
Not the greatest.
yeah,
though.
I didn't. I've never done any of the downloaded content on.
All right,
it,
definitely
so-
worth a play.
Joe, did you ever play any of the DLC for New Vegas?
No, I only played. I didn't even finish New Vegas, honestly, Paul. I hate to tell
That's
you.
fair.
So
That's
Yeah.
it's a great
Yep.
game. It's the best one in my opinion. Anyways, let's talk about kidney stones. Joe, you had kidney stones, right?
uh oh, here a couple times.
Yeah.
Couple, 2-3
Ugh.
times.
I had them. Well, you can consider it was within the span of 3 to 4 months, but I guess I had him twice in that 3 to 4 months, if you consider that. But I've told my side on the show before, but I want to hear it from you. Like, what was your experience like?
Hold up one second.
What did you change? Yeah, go ahead, Jack.
I might take off my headset. Don't hold back, but I'm gonna throw up if I hear.
He doesn't like it. He was gagging last time.
It makes me. I just can't. If I get one, I think you might have to strap me down to a hospital bed and like sedate me because I won't be able to function. But that being said, go on. Don't hold back. The listeners want to know. Tell it how it is. They want to know.
So first time I had one, I thought I had gas. Right? I'm like, I'm just miserable. I've got something going on. I'm like, I need to take a shit, or whatever. And so I was taking all this like gas X. I was taking, I can't remember what else I took, and I'm just like pounding this. Jack, you're not handling this over there.
No, I'm good.
I haven't even gotten into it yet. I haven't even gotten into it.
It's just you're good.
So I'm at home and I'm like, this is the middle of the night, of course, because why would it happen at noon? And it's the middle of the night. I'm like, oh man, I'm miserable. And so I take some painkillers and I take some gas X. I take all this stuff and I start vomiting, like, because the pain is so bad. I'm like throwing up now, and going to the hospital, going to the ER in the middle of the night because I'm so miserable. And the ER doc's like, did you take anything? I'm like, I took this. And he's like, well, just go home. It's probably just indigestion or gas or whatever. And I'm like, all right. So I go home. And next morning, I couldn't sleep. Nothing. I'm like, I don't know what this is. So I went in again and they scanned me and they're like, yeah, you've got a kidney stone, but it's small enough it'll pass through. So for those of you out there who don't know how a kidney stone works, a lot of people think like, oh, when you pee it out, like coming right out of you, it's like, oh, it burns. But there's actually a line that runs between your kidney and your bladder that stone tries to work its way down, and that's where it gets stuck. Is it called the ureter, Paul? Is that what
something
it's called?
like that?
A narrow urethra.
Oh, I don't remember.
It's before that.
I think it's called the yeah. So it has to pass, and I'm sure the size of it, I don't even know what it is, but it has to pass between your kidney and your bladder and drop into it. And that's what you feel because it's supposed to be liquid in there, not this rocky thing. So as it's passing, that's where you feel that pain as it's trying to get through. So you're supposed to drink plenty of water. If they're big enough, they'll go in and they can zap them. They can laser zap them and work them out. And both couple times I had them, they weren't big enough to zap. They said you just got to pass them. So I actually went online by like day 2 or day 3 of the first one. I was in so much pain, like crying for mom. In pain, seriously.
God damn.
And
what kind of where was the pain radiating from? Like, what was it? Just hurt?
All that back, I mean, right in that back, like right where your kidneys are. Yeah.
Yeah.
And basically, like somebody was taking a spoon, but piercing through your skin with it.
Ooh, yeah, constantly. Fuck that. That's
like,
so.
And so you're just uncomfortable, and you might get a few minutes or a half hour of sleep. And then it hits you again, and you're like, and just miserable. So finally, by the couple days, I'm like, I need to go back into the hospital. So I went to the hospital again, and they're like, well, we can give you some pain medicine because the issue was they gave me like Oxy or something.
Yeah,
but I didn't take it soon. I didn't take it soon enough, so I couldn't keep up on the pain. And
okay.
And I was getting close to passing it. So I had the gal I was seeing at the time. I looked up this recipe, and this recipe said mix lemon juice.
Oh, I did this.
Lemon juice, olive oil, and I can't remember what else. There was like 3 different things.
For me, it was just the 2, lemon juice and olive oil.
Okay, it might have been. I feel like there was another one in mind, but at least those 2. And you basically have to drink this stuff, and it gets to the point. It goes through your system, so you're peeing out oil. Like I was actually peeing oily pee out into the toilet.
Ugh.
And because it's supposed to help lube up that tube and send that through. I don't know if it worked, but I passed that stone within like an hour of drinking the hell out of that stuff. So my next one, I had, of course, right after my now wife and her daughter had moved in, and I'm literally in the bedroom crying. I mean, crying. And the daughter's like, I'm in there just in pain, and she's like, she told Penny, she goes, I've never heard a tough guy cry before. I'm like, so I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, first I'm not a tough guy at all, but I'll tell you what, that was the same. And then so I go on to the doctor again because I'm like, can you give me some pills? Because I said I can't get through this. I can't do this.
Yeah.
And I go in, and the guy's like, well, I'll give you this one. It's a non-narcotic. I go, listen, I'm not a druggie. I'm not a pill user. I need Oxy. Oxy works for me. I know it does. I've had it before on other stuff. Well, I'm going to give you this one. It's non-narcotic. It didn't even cut the pain in half. And next time I'll get another opinion, or you know what I'll do? I'll find some Oxy on the street and get that done that way, because if they're not going to give it to me, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I know that sounds extreme, but that's how bad it hurts.
Oh, I get it, man.
Right.
I went through it and I totally understand. I'll go quick through mine just because just similarities with like what you went through. And like, yeah, man, like I had 3. First one I passed. This was like over a month and a half, 2 months. Like it was like there was a break in between. I can't remember, for a good amount of time. So I go in. For me, it happened at noon during the day. I was just at home, and all of a sudden I was like, this isn't right. I had to call Dad. He brought me to the hospital. I was in so much pain. I was vomiting in my place. I almost like passed out in the car from the pain. We get there.
It's that bad, Jack.
Yeah.
It's that bad, Jack.
I get scanned. Yeah, you have 1 kidney stone. It's really small. You'll pass it. Do these things. Here are like some hydrocodone or oxys, whatever they gave me. A few weeks go by. I probably went to the ER one more time because I was like, I need more pain. Like, I'm not same thing. I was like, I can't do this. Like, I'm not getting any sleep. Like, I ran out of pills, whatever. And it made me seem like I was a drug addict because I needed them because I was in so much pain, is what I felt like.
Just give me the pills,
Come on, man.
Yeah. And then, so then I end up peeing that one out. I tried to catch it in the strainer, but it was even so tiny. It went through the fucking tiny holes of the strainer. Like, I didn't know what it was. So then a month or 2 goes by. I'm skateboarding. I'm back at it. Felt great. No problems. I'm at the skate park in Superior. I go to hit like the quarter, and then like I land, like try to do a trick. I just pivot down the ramp, and then I'm like, oh no. like I'm like, oh no. And like Nick and Ryan and I had just got to the skate park. We were there for like 20 fucking minutes, and my car was at Nick's, the Tiburon, and I'm like, Nick, I'm sweating. I'm like, just drive me to my car. He's like, dude, I can bring you to the ER. I'm like, just drive me to my car, and I'll drive myself to the ER. I do not want to inconvenience you. I don't want to have to go all the way over the bridge, whatever. I get there. I drive my Tiburon. I'm going over the bridge. I'm like, sweating. Just like in such immense pain, dude. Just drinking water. Like fucking I remember like dumping it all over myself. I get there. They scan me. Oh, it turns out there's 2 more, and these ones are bigger. But we think you can pass them. So I go through another couple weeks. Can't pass them. Then they're like, all right, we need to do a laser, whatever the thing is with the laser. And I had to get them broken up. And then, but see what I had to do on top of yours, Joe, is they had to put a stent between my fucking kidney and my bladder. Oh, dude, that hurt peeing more than with the stone, dude. I was pissing blood and I'll never forget when after like 2 days after it, I wake up in the morning. First thing I do is pop 2 oxys, and I like zombie-fy, like walk into the bathroom. I go to pee, and I feel like I'm peeing, and then I'm like, wait, nothing's coming out. Then it just like fucking buckshot blood clots the whole toilet. And I'm like, oh, like it was so bad. I was like, oh, and it hurt. It hurt so bad, dude. I mean, I won't go. When they went and took the stent out, they give me 1 pill of Valium. They prescribe me. I'm like, what's this Valium for? They're like, oh, you take it before you go get the stent out. I'm like, I'm not asleep. And they fucking take the stent out. I'm reading a magazine. I'm like, come on. The Valium was just making me laugh. I was like, like the Joker while he's pulling it out. He's like, he fucking pulls up this little CCTV smaller than this. He's like, well, if you want to watch when I go inside and grab, I don't want to fucking watch. Give me that Sportsman Outdoor magazine. I'll read that. Like, I was just like, Jesus, man. No, man, they're horrible. I do not wish them on my worst enemy. You know, I say this all the time. They're like, I will obviously never feel what it's like to have a child, but they compare kidney stones, especially for men, to like equal pain to having a child. Now, and you know, and it can last weeks. You know, like it's
Yeah.
And when you pass them, is that an immediate relief or is
Oh,
it so lingering?
pretty much like. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, well, I was just saying for me, when I felt it drop into my bladder, instant relief.
Yeah.
Instant. It took a while. I had the strainer. You have to pee into a strainer to try to catch it so they can sample it. I still have mine in a little bag because they sampled it and they're like, God, it's just random minerals. Don't drink as many energy drinks. And at the time, I was drinking a lot of Monster Energy Rehabs, tea and lemonades, like a lot. And I'm not going to say it correlates. Right? Yeah, it's that calcium buildup, and that next time I was drinking a lot of that kind of stuff too when it happened, and I don't know.
Yeah, so
no, I've
Jack.
been off the energy drinks because I've been paranoid because I don't want. Well, I don't know if they're genetic. I don't think they are, but no one. I haven't. Was it just you guys have got or any other?
They kind of run in the family. Like,
hasn't Max gotten them before? I feel like Max has.
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe it's you guys.
So. Just me and Joe is that all I know of, and I think Mom said her dad had them. Maybe I don't know though. But what I will say is this: like at the time for me, so they're the two top things. They can be made out of a lot of main minerals. The two top things they can be made out of is like calcium phosphate and calcium oxalate. I believe mine was calcium oxalate, which is the most common, which just means you have high calcium in your diet and I'm not getting enough water. So I barely drank water. I fucking survived off like soda. It was terrible because I was younger. I was like 18, 19. I wasn't really ever huge in energy drinks, like every once in a while. Now I have them like maybe one a week or something. But they're like, oh, you need to stop your calcium intake. And then when I started trying to look at labels, dude, doesn't matter what you get, whether it's processed or you make it at home or cook meat, everything is just fucking pumped with calcium. Like you can't avoid it. So what I just decided to do is just drink a shit ton of water all the time. I still try to keep up on that. And I haven't had a problem since. It's been like, 5-6 years now, but still like, I don't know. They could come back someday. Because when I went into the doctor, they did a scan on something else. Like, oh, by the way, you have a kidney stone in your other kidney now. And that was like 3 years ago. But he said it was so tiny. He said it was like, he's like, you're probably just going to pass it and not even know. But who knows? I don't know.
But both of mine have been on the same side. And then, so my buddy Rich Bober, he's had them at least once. And he went to a job interview while he was passing one. Ooh. And it was for state of Minnesota, and he's sitting there, and they asked him a question that he knows the answer to, like he 100% knows the answer, and he was stumbling, and they're like, they kind of coached him through it. They're like, blah blah blah, whatever he was trying to say, and he's like, yeah, and they go, are you okay? And he goes, I'm actually passing a kidney stone, and they're like, Jesus, they're like, do you want to do this later?
Yeah.
Like, he got the job.
I was gonna say, I bet you that got him the job.
I can imagine the blood situation where you're like, you spurted blood all over a bathroom, dude. What the fuck? Yeah. What was going on with you?
Dude, Ricky was my roommate at the time, Ricky and Henriette, when I was having the stones. He's like, Paul, literally for like a month period, you would get up, pop 2 oxys, stumble into the bathroom, and I'd hear, oh, like he said he'd hear like pain, like moaning. Because at that point, I wasn't crying anymore from the pain. I was just pissed off. And then I would just, and then I'd like, he'd be like, good morning. And I'd be like, hey, like walking down the hallway of the apartment. And I'd just go into the office and literally just nonstop play video games and just fucking, because I couldn't work. Mm-hmm. Like I just, I didn't know. It's all I did was just get through it.
You're like the Doom guy. You're not even, the pain doesn't matter. You're just angry now. So you're just gonna be angry.
Yeah.
Overrides it. That is foul. And I don't think anyone should ever get those. Do women get that, or is that just a men thing?
Women can get them. It's I think it's more rare. I think they though have a higher chance of getting gallbladder stones. I think Mom might have had those at one point.
That sounds. I don't even want to know about that.
Yeah, they have a higher chance of getting pregnant too. So
interesting. Where'd you read that at?
Yeah.
Forbes?
I don't think
I read it in a book. I read it. I was sitting anyway.
Right. Well, off to the medical disgusting stories, because you know, sorry for you people with weak stomachs out there, Jackson. But so Joe, you've dated some women. What are the craziest ones you've encountered? Any crazy stories there you can tell us?
Are we really going there tonight?
Okay.
Or today?
Okay. Different question then. Slideshow. Rewind it. Rewind it.
You didn't prep me for that one.
No, I didn't. I figured I gotta drop it. I wanted to drop it last time, but we were having such a blast.
We could do a whole segment on crazy exes of mine.
Let's just start with one or two. Maybe when you come back on next time, it'll just be a reoccurring segment. How about that?
I don't even know how to quantify the crazy, and I don't want to
pick one.
I also don't want to make this like, oh, women are crazy, because guys are crazy too, and guys are assholes.
And just give them a fake name. Just give them a fake name too.
Well, I'm not saying their names. I'm not going to say that most of them follow everything I do, and would probably still.
But I'd be careful. Yeah. Most of your exes do follow us on Instagram, though. So.
I know. I'm aware.
They're a big fan of the Gutterball Podcast.
Yeah, they are. They can.
Did I tell any of you about I used to put on that bike show for quite a few years.
Yeah, the expo.
Yeah, I've been there every year.
I think I went every time too.
So I had one year of it, and I was putting on the show with my buddy Walt, and Walt goes, after about my fourth ex comes through, Walt goes, how many of your exes are going to be here today? And I'm like, apparently a lot of them, because it was like one after one.
Yeah.
Coming right on through the event. I'm like,
awkward as fuck.
Yeah. So yeah, it was, anyway, craziest. The one that really, I wouldn't say the craziest, but up on par with probably some of the craziest. She would text faster, or Facebook message or whatever, faster than any human can possibly do it. It might have been Skynet texting me or responding to what was going on. So here's the best way to describe it. Okay. I'll give you a scenario. This is towards the end of dating her.
Yeah.
She messaged me, I think we should break up. And I'd write back, okay, I agree, right? I mean, I'm not kidding you. It was like, literally like, okay, I understand, I agree. She's like, I don't think you understand. And I'd be writing back, no, and before I could even finish, no, I understand. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I mean, I'm not kidding you. Messages rolling in. We should break up because of this, and it's because of this. And I'd be like, so there'd be a pause, and I'd be like, okay, I agree, I understand. Boop, 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 boop. And then it'd stop, and I'd be like, yes, I understand. And she goes, no, I don't think you understand. And I'd write back, no, you don't understand that I do understand. And so I'd be typing out, I understand because of blah, blah, blah. So I'd reiterate what she had written. Yeah. I agree with you that, and as I'm typing that back, boop, 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 I'm not kidding. If I showed you the history, you'd be like, how the fuck did she write that much that quick? I couldn't even respond back. And then I'd be like, you're right. I 100% agree with you. No, I don't think you understand though. And kept going on. And I could reiterate exactly what she was doing. She just rechurn everything that she was saying over and over, and just.
Are you sure it wasn't Skynet? Are you positive?
It might have been. It might have been.
She might have been a synth.
Yeah.
And she could have been. It's possible. Anyway, so I guess she would top the list, and that was the one that Mom hated. You want to know why Mom didn't like her?
Why?
Do you want to know? Because she came over to dinner one day with Mom and Dad. It was just me, her, Mom, and Dad. And she wouldn't shut up. Yeah, a lovely evening. She wouldn't shut up because she talked all the time, nonstop. Just go. 2 kids, 2 different dads. Okay, whatever. But 2 kids, 2 different dads. And every probably 8th paragraph she brought up, as a single mom, and would go into her struggles as a single mom, And our mom was sitting there having 8 kids with the same guy, thinking to herself, why don't you just keep your fucking legs closed? That's what was going through my
Yeah, for sure.
brain.
Mhm.
And mom was ready to come over the table and choke her. Of course, kept that under wraps because mom isn't like that. Mom
Yeah.
would never, even with like my ex-wife and other people that my mom just couldn't at points stand, she kept it to herself because she said, I'm never going to be that parent that gets in between relationships with my kids, and there's something that's not my job, and that's good because there are parents that do that.
Yeah.
But that was like, it was one of those things, and I left, and I'm like, I don't think I can ever bring her over to mom and dad's again, because I could see mom just sitting there like she wants to kill her. She wants to kill her. And that was the one that it just, and that's the short version of the that with her, because there was never any how do I put it? It was 100 miles an hour all the time, and I don't know what level of neurotic was going on there and what it was, but it was just like, it was this beyond intense, and I don't like drama, but everything was drama. One of those situations too.
Yeah.
So that's the one that kind of stands out. We still joke about her at work. Actually, her nickname is Helipad, and the reason she's called Helipad is because we used to go for drives in my truck or whatever. We just take off, go for a drive, listen to music, and we're driving along. We're north of Duluth. I don't remember where we were. All of a sudden, what's that concrete thing over on the side of the road? There was a helipad on the side of the road. So we went and hung out on the helipad north of Duluth. Just a random, legit circle H helipad hanging out north of Duluth. And
is it still there?
The nickname, I'm sure it is. And actually, I think I found it one other time when I was riding motorcycle. If I drove around enough, I could probably find it again. But
yeah,
my coworkers at work, I'd go back and tell them the stories from my weekend excursions with exes and whatnot. So she became Helipad is her name. And
okay,
yeah,
a little bit of lore to that.
She actually, I won't say which radio station, but our radio station I used to work for actually had girls that worked there at the station.
Yeah,
like we had staff girls for the station. Don't say it if you think you know what it is. She was one of them years and years and years ago that I never got with then.
Yeah.
So I'll just put it that way. And
yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, all I can say is this. I had many years of dramatic relationships with several different people, and it is wonderful to be married to somebody who has her shit together. I'll say that much.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and we'll stop it there and we'll bring it up next time. But thank you for sharing that, Jackson. Is there any topics you wanted to bring up or questions for Joe?
Yeah, I was just gonna roll into bring up mom a little bit more. Not really her specifically, but the parents. And I've just been on a Stevie Nicks or like Fleetwood Mac kick, and that's like shit mom would play growing up. And it'd be like, Say That You Love Me, like that song. I'd be like, God damn it, she's playing that again. I can't take it. I'm singing this goddamn song. But now I'm at work and I'm like, okay, all right, this is good music. And same with Pink. She played a lot of Pink. Pink isn't terrible. I thought it was the most horrible thing. But you know what? I'll tie it into the question. But you know what music she did play that I never will like, and it still don't, is Johnny Cash. She'd play Ring of Fire too much
Johnny Cash.
That if I hear that, I'm gonna go crazy. It's like an implemented mini. It's like you like say a phrase like banana pepper, and I turn into Secret Service like a sleeper agent, start killing everybody. So don't play that song around me, Ring of Fire, ever. I don't want to hear it. But I wanted to ask you guys, what was things growing up like? Music mom played, movies dad watched, things that they did that like that you didn't like as a kid, but you grew up and were like, okay, this is kind of like banging, I don't know, just something that related to me was just the music, where I was like, man, I hated this, but now I like it. Anything that comes to your guys'
you go
mind?
first.
Yeah, top of my mind, I have two things. One's a movie. Dad watched Jeepers Creepers when I was a little too young. That movie fucking freaked me out. And then when I got older, I watched it. I'm like, oh yeah, it's actually like a decent movie. Like, and then The other was like I could not stand country music at all as a kid. Like I just wasn't into it. Alan Jackson, whatever. And now I'm like, fuck, I love Alan Jackson and that stuff. Like I don't go out of my way to listen to it a lot. Like I'll go through a phase where maybe like a week I'll just listen to like country or something. It's not often. So that, and then with mom, I can't really think of anything music wise other than Prince. Like I didn't like Prince, and then I'm older and now I like Prince. Like it's just, I don't know. When you're younger, you don't vibe with the older music until you kind of realize what it takes to do it.
You reach a certain point where it makes sense and you're like, damn, this song's actually super sad, you know. But
For me, my mom told me to go buy the AC/DC Back in Black album. Like
really?
Legit. She's like, you're gonna, I said I have enough money to go buy something. She goes, AC/DC's Back in Black. And she goes, I think she said to buy Van Halen's 1984.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting one of the, at that point, Van Halen's greatest hits, whatever that was at that point. And so those two albums, and it was awesome. It was great. That got me also into the Wallflowers for some reason. And I don't know why, but it did. And then she got me into Garth Brooks at a young age. Like, and she listened to Alan Jackson. I'm like, yeah, it's all right. It's all right. But Garth Brooks, for some reason, when I was younger, that grabbed me. I like that. And always kind of did after that. But what else? She played a lot of Billy Ocean. I don't know if you know who Billy Ocean
I've heard of him, but I don't think I've ever heard it.
Yeah, get out of my dreams and into my car was one of his songs, and it kind of cheesy, but and at first when she played it, I remember being like, this sucks. And then I'm kind of like, all right, it's actually all right, so that kind of stands out. And then as far as music wise, but mom had that, and then dad was always quoting ZZ Top's Legs. He was always
he was always quoting that.
And he didn't really sing, but he kind of hum and do kind of a head bob and whatever. And I'd be like, all right, yeah, I didn't know what it was. And then when I found out what it was, I'm like, I like this.
Yeah.
And really got me into ZZ Top. But movie wise, I think, he let me watch the first Terminator.
For sure. Yeah.
He let us watch Pumpkinhead when I was way too young. There was a couple other older horror movies, and I can't even remember the names of them, but he was the one that'd be like, yeah, just don't tell your mom, don't tell your mom, don't tell your mom. And so I remember a lot of that. That kind of stands out as far as with mom and dad and what they, kind of tailored. And since, I think dad let, it was probably the first Rambo, First Blood. Right.
Yeah.
I think he probably let me watch that for the first time and unedited, not on not on TNT or whatever, it was on. It was like, we're going to watch it. And so that's kind of with my mom and dad stuff. But I think my, mom, I'm not saying I would never gotten into AC/DC, but when you go ask a parent what albums to buy, and they, I mean, that really set the tone for a lot of the music that I listened to. And I'm like, this is a thing, and then got heavier from that and kind of branched off from there. So
I'll never forget.
Does that answer that?
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, it does.
I'll never forget the few times I went to friends' houses when I was younger, and I would show them AC/DC. They've never heard of it, and then like I've literally had parents of like other people I used to hang out with them younger, like, your parents let you listen to this? Like, you can't listen to this here. And I'm just, because I didn't realize at the time really like what the songs were about. You just like the noise and how it sounds. And then like as I got older, I'm like, oh, this makes sense.
Some of them are a little rotten. Some of them are bad, but a lot of them aren't that terrible.
Yeah. It's hard rock or whatever you want to call it. But and then I'll never forget, I don't know if it was rated R or PG-13, but the first, I think, like real movie I went and saw in theaters that was like either PG-13 or R when I was younger is Max, our brother Max and dad brought me to go see The Brothers Grimm. And
Okay.
I don't know if that was R or what, but that movie fucking freaked me out.
PG-13.
Yeah, but that freaked me out. Like when I was younger, I was like probably like 8 or 9. I was not 13, or like, but that movie freaked me out. I haven't seen it since. I do want to watch it. I always think about, damn, if that ever pops up on a streaming service, I need to watch that because I want to see it again ever since that day in the theater. But it was, yeah, that's about all the rest I have. But that movie fucking creeped me out, man.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. I'll have to check that one out.
I don't remember who's in it. Is Heath Ledger in it? Who's in that movie?
I think he might be. It's possible.
Yeah.
I probably haven't seen it since the theaters, to be honest with you. I think it's been that long. So
it's a long time.
Yeah, it was
right on.
Matt Damon and Heath Ledger. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's right.
Brothers Grimm Way? Is that what it's called?
It's just called The Brothers Grimm.
Oh, okay. I thought Grimm Way.
So if it came out in 2005, I would have been like fucking 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Anyways, I know we are coming up on an hour here. We're about 40 minutes in. And so we're kind of towards the end of the show here. But Joe, I know you really wanted to talk about this. You are buying a camper. So is this like go ahead and, obviously go into it. Is it an RV or is it just like a classic camper, like attached to a truck, tow it?
They would call it and what's wrong? What's going on over there? Are you having a kidney stone? What's
no,
up?
I'm good. No, I smashed my leg on my fucking desk. I'm good. We're chilling.
Yeah.
Jack's over there. I have a pain in my side. It might be a kidney stone. It might be a kidney stone.
I got the placebo effect.
Yeah.
I'm like, I won.
Hey, it's like when I'm in a job site in the woods and somebody finds a tick and I'm like, oh, maybe there's one on me.
Yeah,
too,
Dad found one today, and I literally did the exact thing where I'm like, "What the fuck, man?" I'm like, I don't know. I might have one now. Do I have one, guys?
It could be.
Guys.
There might be 3 of them on you, and you might have a kidney stone. It's possible.
You get hit with all of them.
You got Lyme disease, and you got a stone bigger than my fucking pinky in there. The doctor.
You'll piss it right out when it passes, and a tick will be riding it.
Yeah,
right
on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going along. Yeah, no, it's if I get limes, at least I can have good excuse for being lazy. I got limes.
Yeah, there you go.
Was it on a fucking saddle? It's on a saddle. It's got a saddle on it.
Yeah,
wait, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here.
It's got a hat.
It tips his hat to you as you... So probably gonna get some. Probably gonna
like the Emridge there.
Yeah, probably gonna get. You're gonna get some ticks with that camper, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
The National Tick Association is probably gonna call after seeing this, and be like, "That's not how they are. You're getting it all wrong.
They don't go up. They don't go up your fucking beetle.
Yeah.
They don't do that.
You're spreading misinformation."
We're gonna have YouTube's gonna put a disclaimer under this cast saying tick the actual tick link to like how they actually are. This is fake news.
I'm gonna make a short title that just says "tick up pee hole" or something like that. all fucking exclamation points.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we purchased a toy hauling travel trailer. Is what we got. So it's got the big ramp in the back. The whole back flips down, and then you can ride up 4-wheelers or whatever you want in it. Hoping ours is big enough for 2 full-size motorcycles to mount in there and be able to take places. And I know there's arguments. Oh, you trailer your bike places. Yeah, you know what? If I decide to throw my motorcycle in it in December and drive to Texas, I'm not riding my fucking motorcycle through. Yeah. So I will trailer my bike sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't care how hardcore some bikers claim to be. You ain't riding your bike through however many states in the middle of winter. So
yeah.
So anyway, we bought a travel trailer, toy hauler, and it's like 29 feet long with the tongue, and kind of got the separate bedroom with the queen bed, which I wanted. If we're gonna get one, I want one with a separate bedroom and whatever else. And it only sleeps 4, so I don't have to, oh, you got a place for us to stay in your camper? Sure
Nope.
don't. Sorry.
Sure don't. Clear
Fresh
them
out.
Sure
Yeah.
don't.
Only have one more kid too. That's it. That's a cutoff. No more
Well,
room in
yeah,
the
we got
camper.
Belle on the dog. That's 4.
Oh,
That's
there
4
you go.
people.
Yeah, you're done for. That's it.
We're done. We're done. But so the funny thing about it is, I love my wife to death, but she's never owned a camper. I've had one before, and her mindset is, we have a camper. We can just pull up anywhere and camp. We just pull up and camp. That's all you do. You just pull up and you're camping.
You just drive.
Yeah, we're camping. Here we are. That's it. Yeah, you hook it to the truck, you drive it somewhere, and you're camping. You're just there, camping. It's not how it goes. It's never how it goes. You have to level the fucker. Okay. Good luck. That never goes well.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to. You're backing it up, which I backed up hundreds of trailers, but there's always, situations with backing it up. A bunch of campers are already parked in, and you got to kind of 19-point maneuver, shoehorn it back into where you're going. Yeah, just get it in there. I'm not a fan of doing camping like for one night. Like, I don't like the whole, let's get off work on Friday and then we'll drive to the campsite 3 or 4 hours away, park it in the dark, usually in the pouring fucking rain, and then we'll just, get up in the morning and we camp, and then the next day we get up and pack up and leave. Like, that's not worth it to me.
No.
I have no value.
It's got to be a 3 to 4 day adventure at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've got to. I'm like a Thursday. Can we check in at Thursday at noon? So I can get checked in, and by hopefully 3 o'clock, I can get a cocktail in my hand and just chillax. But the other thing with camping, it's like you got to buy food, right? Half the stuff that you bring with you end up throwing away or not bringing back. You overspend on that. You're paying a camper because we bought a new one. You're paying a camper payment because we didn't pay cash. You're paying a camper payment. You're paying insurance. You're paying fuel in the truck. You are paying for the camper spot for the everything. By the time you're done, you're like, could we have just rented a cabin for a couple days? Or gotten a hotel or whatever else. So it'll be fine, right? It'll be great. It'll be fun. And that's the because I'm pretty high strung with stuff, and Penny is very, very relaxed. So hopefully she can be my balance, and I can chillax enough and be cool about it, and just embrace it, because she is helpful with things. I had somebody that I was with before that, I'd be going to back up the camper, and I needed another set of eyes, and all of a sudden she's gone. And so I stop the truck and I get out. I'm like, where the fuck she go?
Yeah.
Oh, she's holding the dog. She's holding the dog like Dr. Evil's holding Mr. Bigglesworth, petting the dog. And I'm like, where were you? What are you doing? Oh, the dog needed water. Oh, really? The dog needed water while I'm backing in a 30-foot camper. There's a light pole there. There's another camper. There's kids. There's what? It's fine. By all means, get the dog some water. Okay. Yeah. So that's where my PTSD from this comes in, to be like, I need you to focus on what we're doing. Yeah. Not the kid, not the dog, this isn't about them at this point. This is get high-strung Joe to park this fucking thing so I can now spend half an hour trying to level it and get everybody comfortably in it.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't, we looked at used ones, but I'm like, you're buying somebody's, who knows? Campers are built like shit. We even went in some of the really expensive ones, and we're just like, this isn't built that much better than the model tier below it or whatever. They're built like garbage.
Yeah.
They're absolute garbage. I mean, not all of them. Again, you start, you want to get into 50 grand. Okay, getting a little better tier, but you want to stay in that 30, you want to stay in that 25,
yeah,
they're okay. But and really what you could do is what I've learned with them. If you go into it and you maybe spend 150 bucks on some extra trim pieces and wood pieces and things like that, you can go behind some of the cabinets, the bed frames, and some of that stuff. You can shore up that stuff to kind of reinforce it.
Yeah.
But right out of the box, it ain't, it ain't very good.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. What's
so yeah,
the
that's fun.
what's the longevity of those bad boys? How many years do you think you'll get out of it?
Yeah, it depends on how well you take care of it, right?
Okay.
The less people you have in it, the more it's gonna hold up.
Right.
We bought a cover. We bought a cover for ours. The upside to the previous one I had, our brother Ben had that big pole barn garage,
Yeah.
and every time I didn't use it, I kept it in there.
Nice,
So
yeah.
when it's not sitting out in the elements, in the conditions, like when we went and sold that 2 years later, it looked brand new. I mean, there was not the I mean, seriously, it looked brand freaking new.
Yeah.
And it's how much you clean them, and it's how much you don't abuse them, and just take care of them. I mean, I'm hoping with what we're paying for it. I'd like to have it paid off in a couple of years and then have it for 10. I'd like, maybe. Hopefully that works out, but
For
we'll
sure.
see. That
Yeah,
any other camper questions?
I don't know if I
I'm
got any.
not an
I've never been in mini campers or actually used them for camping because we never had that growing up, or none of my buddies did. So not experienced camping.
I
Not a
do
huge fan.
I do have one question, but before I go into that, I will say this. Like, if you find, like, when I went to Arizona, the Airbnb I found was like a brand new camper that somebody had in their backyard, completely sectioned off, like its own fence entrance, its own little garden, its own outdoor patio spot. If you're going somewhere where a majority of the time when you go somewhere, you're going to see the sights, you're not going to be at the spot you're staying a whole lot other than to just sleep, shower, and just, for an hour or two to relax. If you can find a nice newer camper, dude, that Airbnb was $50 a night, and I'll never, because all these other ones were like a full 4-bedroom house with all this. It's like, it's just Destiny and I, and like we aren't gonna be there. So like all these other ones were double the price, and that camper was perfect. Had a shower in it, and it worked really well. So like if you ever get an Airbnb going somewhere you want to go cheap, just get, if it's only a couple people, just get
a camper.
Yeah,
I just had a really good Airbnb idea. You slap some paint on there, make it the Breaking Bad fucking RV. You're good to go, man. You got a meth house there, hollowed out.
Hey, Joe, you got your 9? Put a few bullet holes in the door here.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah, you
pop a couple rounds in it.
Resale
little
value.
duct tape over that.
Yeah,
just a little duct tape.
And you know what we got to do then? Cardboard cutout of Saul Goodman in the corner.
Yeah, pointing that too. Yeah.
Maybe some Saul Goodman business cards.
Yeah.
But the other thing with the camper that I was going to say was, what might happen here in July, I might have a work project that is in Michigan, and
that'd be perfect.
if that happens, part of the job is per diem every day towards hotel and food. If I brought the camper and camped, I would make, over 3 months of working, would make a significant amount of money on my per diem just living out of that camper.
Yeah.
And that's something I might do.
And you just put it towards paying it off.
We gave you that money for the hotel. Did you check in? Yeah, man. It's all good to go. Don't worry about it. Just keep the money coming, man.
Hotel's like, well, that's the beauty of it. They don't even know. I mean, they cut you a check every week. Here's your per diem. Do you want to go spend $100 a night, or do you want to spend, $400 a week or $300 a week on a campground?
Yeah.
No, that's true.
Do you, other than like that Michigan idea, do you have any trips planned for it this summer? Anything right off the bat that you, I mean, like, obviously I'm sure when you go to the 4th of July at Ben's, you probably bring it, I would assume, right?
Yeah. So already on the docket right now, let's just look. I get it tomorrow after my class, because we bought it. Actually, first payment's due on the 28th, and I don't even pick it up till tomorrow. But we actually, June 6th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th is one of my first potential trips. I shouldn't even be saying dates because now someone's going to break into my house. So I'll have to do the Home Alone setup with the light,
people moving around. I'd be careful about that.
I suppose someone will have to be here anyway. But so we already got a Brainerd weekend. We got Ben's weekend. We've got see, Penny's friends having a party. Yeah, so we got. I think there's already like 6 or
That's
7
cool.
things planned.
Well, at least you're already gonna get
Um,
some use out of it right away, you know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it'll get. So I told Penny, I said, start booking weekends because there ain't no point in having one if we're not going to use it.
Right. No,
And
100%.
yeah, that was my argument before. I'm like, it's just like it's got to get used, or it's not worth having a payment on it.
Yeah.
And I think it will. We've even talked about Christmas, because we're going to store the motorcycles in there for the winter, because it's going to double as a garage, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the plan. Potentially store. Well, maybe we'll see if that works out. But if not, I'm going to store it at my house. And the plan with that will basically be, we've talked about December. Say screw it. Hook up the truck, hook up the camper, and head to Texas for a week for
No, that'd
Christmas.
be really cool. Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Why not? If
Mhm.
and we can even do it on a fly. Just go look, and just go, hey, look, this 2 weeks or this week in Texas looks amazing for December. Let's just go hit it and find a campground. We'll have motorcycles or a motorcycle when we get there. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, for sure. I've always wanted something like that just because, like, as I get older, I want to travel so much. You don't realize how much how expensive traveling is. Getting work off is tough sometimes.
Exhausting.
It's exhausting. Like, it's like for me, whenever I go on a trip like that, I need a day or two buffer almost beforehand and after before I go back to work to just kind of settle back in, get back home, make sure things are in order. But lately, like, I mean, like, I've been wanting a new car, but besides that, I've also just been thinking of, like, obviously I'm going to keep the Buick no matter what and just daily it. And then whatever car I get, it's just going to be like in the garage and I'll just use it in the summer months or something just to keep it nice until the Buick finally croaks kind of deal. Cause I have, no payment on it. It's a beater, it's got heat and AC. But I've really wanted to buy, like, I know there's a lot of work that goes into them. They're expensive, but I just want to buy like a taller transit van and just convert it for 2 people and a dog. It would be really easy to just, like, put some cabinets in there, throw a fucking bed in there, get a decent AC setup and like a backup battery system for, all types of other shit. I think that'd be fun.
That's on the go.
What was that?
Podcast on the go.
Could do like Steve-O's fucking thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll be entertaining.
Well, not just that. I mean, Paul, you've got some opportunities some days to work remote too, right? So
yeah, and that's the thing.
Sitting outside of McDonald's on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I mean, I did like, for instance,
pounders.
Like, I'd never really worked like remote, like not from home or somewhere else. However, coming up, like, for that garage sale, we're gonna be up that Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Mom and Dad's. And and my plan is to like, I'm working from Duluth that Friday. Like, we're gonna be up there Thursday night or Friday morning, and I'm just gonna work from Duluth, which I know I can get work done and get stuff done, but again, like, how any of that remote stuff goes, like, it's like you get distracted, something happens, like, or like someone needs you and it's just like, it's annoying. I mean, like, I'll try to, like, I'm gonna do my best to get like my fair share of work in for the day, but that's what, like, I worry is, like, I'm sure I'll be fine, but it's like, oh, we're gonna go on this 1 week trip, Paul has to work fucking 8 hours every day, so it's like, it's like, maybe I work half of it remote and I just take those other 3 days off, so I have 3 days of just doing fucking whatever there.
Do a balance like that, or maybe you'll get used to it too. Maybe it'll work out for you, because, like, for me, half the teaching I do is online. I can technically do it anywhere I have internet.
Yeah.
Right. So I could be on a balcony in Mexico if I had Wi-Fi and it worked, teaching my classes. Now, am I going to want to be doing that for 8 hours a day? Not really, but would sure be nice to be on vacay, also making money and sitting out in nice weather all day long, So, and that's those people that get used to working remote. It might be something for that week or 2 weeks it jams for you, and it just works out.
Yeah, so, for sure.
And by the way, when you're up here, if I'm not teaching any of those days, which I don't think I am, if you want to come over to my house for even some of that time or all of it and work from here, there won't be anyone here.
Yeah.
So you and the dog can come hang out and just do your work from here if you want, for no distractions.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah. I'll think about it. So we are literally about to hit an hour here. Jackson, I know Joe's got to go do some other work things. Jack, is there anything you wanted to bring up? Or Joe, is there anything you wanted to talk about on the cast before we kind of wrap it up? Any topics we want to cover?
No, I don't really have anything too hot off the press. It's just I'm really excited to get the 50th episode out to you guys once we of course film it and everything, and it's gonna be very special. I think it's gonna be a really good one. So look forward to that coming out. Nothing else really. I also got a little side project in the works, some a little secret, but
Sweet.
you guys will find out
Not
pretty
even
soon
I know.
with that. Yeah, you'll find out soon enough. And also, we're coming up on a year really soon, Paul, in about like a month here now.
Holy
So we'll have to talk
crap.
about that a little
Every
more.
Thursday for a year. That's nuts. We haven't skipped a single week.
Never skipped one. Yeah, and it's gonna remain like that as far as like, if Paul can't make it one cast, then I guess I'm finding two guests to join in because it will just keep going on. So that's all I got. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I want to say I appreciate you having me on again, even though you had to because you had no one else. So you just kind of used me as your backup, like keep me on the back burner. That's fine.
Right.
I'm fine with that.
No, that is not it. I always, Joe, I actually want to have you on a lot more. The thing is like, I know you're busy. You have a lot of things going on. So like, I don't try to, and like this one was kind of last minute notice. It's just also because like I know on a dime, like if you have nothing going on, you'd come on the show because I know you enjoy it, and I appreciate you supporting us. One thing I want to bring up, just because I feel like we'll forget about it next time, is Better Call Saul. You said you finished it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did. Jacko, did you finish it?
Oh yeah,
Same
I finished
here.
it out. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're all finished. Everyone's we're all finished.
We all know. Yeah.
Spoiler alert, listeners, if you haven't finished it.
I want more of it.
I know
we're done.
I know.
Right. I want more.
I love that show. I love that show.
Yeah.
So good.
It's just
for me, that ending, like when he eventually gets caught, and like he makes a mistake and he's hiding in the dumpster, the cops find him. To me, it just seemed like, oh, like that would have never happened. But also like he had been hiding for that long. It's almost like he just wanted to get caught. And I think that's what it was. It's like at that point he was like, I need to like pay for what I've done, basically. Like I was a part of.
Yeah.
I liked when she presses a life alert and how he's like, I'm about to kill this lady. Then he realizes like, no, that ain't worth it. But no, that whole show is great. Not really about the last episode, but no deaths have in recent mind in TV have hit me harder than Howard's and Nacho's, both of them.
Yeah.
In terms of surprising.
Howard's was so out of the blue.
Yeah.
Howard's too. And also, can we just say that Nacho was lovable?
Yeah,
right? For sure. Yeah, Nacho's a G. Yeah,
like
favorite character.
Like and the other thing about Better Call Saul, I'll say is Paul, when you talk about the end, like maybe he was expecting it, wanted to get caught, kind of. I don't know. I'll give you that maybe a little bit, but I think he always pushed the boundaries with what he would get into because he thought he could get away with it, just push and push and push. Like, even some of the, like how many times with Kim did he, get into stuff and then she'd be like, don't do this. And he just couldn't help himself to go a little further. And I think that's where he was just like, I've gotten by with this much. I can do more, and I feel like that was part of it too,
Yeah. I thought the ending was fitting.
Yeah, it was. And my question since the beginning was like, what happens to Kim?
Yeah.
Right? Because when you watch, when she's not in Breaking Bad, right? So it's like, or not like a staple. So it's like, there's got to be something that happens to her. And I was wondering the whole series. I'm like, she died?
Yeah, I'm glad she lived. But like, if you look at the three main characters, I guess, well, depending on who you consider a main character, just because of the spinoff of Better Call Saul, like Saul, fucking Jesse and Walt, like obviously Walt dies at the end of Breaking Bad, and then Jesse El Camino, he ends up getting away, like he has a new life supposedly, and then like Saul ends up in jail, and I thought that it ended like with that trifecta was pretty good. But then they make you feel like, I mean, like Saul's gonna be okay in jail. All the criminals like him. Like he fought for the little guy, they were chanting his name on the fucking bus to prison or whatever. So
also with the trifecta, they perfectly summed up the ins and outs of the game, because they say it at like one of the first episodes is you either die or you get away early enough, or you go to jail. And ironically, all three of them, each one did their each thing,
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
series is great. Like I tell people, if you're gonna watch Breaking Bad, you have to watch Better Call Saul. You can't just watch one. Both fantastic. I would say I like Better Call Saul more. I'm just a fucking Bob Odenkirk fanboy, so
Yeah. I
huge
believe it.
endorsement of that.
I was gonna say, Jack, I'd agree with you, and wonderfully written. I
Oh, it's
mean,
so
it's
good.
just
Everything falls
yeah,
into place perfectly.
yeah. It was like it's a perfect description for me of like if I did a show. If I did that show, I feel like that's how I would want to have written it. I'm not saying I
Yeah.
could have because I'm
Yeah.
not that artistic,
No.
but I feel like that's it would dare I say perfect. It was done so well. It was done
Mhm.
so well.
Yeah.
All
So
how it tied in. Like there'll be a scene where Saul and and Breaking Bad will be like 6 months from now, best case scenario, I'm managing a Cinnabon. Then 2 years later, it comes around and he's doing that.
Yeah.
It's like that man's a fucking genius. And also, my
Yeah.
favorite one though, with how it all ties in, is at the end of Breaking Bad. If you listen to the police report, they said they found 2 more bodies in the lab. And you're like, 2 more bodies in the lab? Who are those? And then you go around and it's Lalo and who
Howard.
the fuck is it? Howard? Yeah, Howard. Yep. It's like,
yeah.
whoa. It's
I
like,
forgot how that all
guy's a
tied in.
genius.
Yeah. 'Cause,
Yeah.
yeah, there are 2 bodies buried underneath the lab. And
It's
it
all
was-
yeah.
That's
Is like what?
yeah, just the connections to it. Out of those 3, though, I think the best character arc and development was definitely Jesse, just because he was,
Mhm.
in my opinion, like Walt's and Saul's are really good. Like especially Walt's, change. This chemistry is the study of transformation is essentially what happened to Walt. He transformed. You're done when we say we're done. When I say we're
Yeah.
done, like just super aggressive. But I don't know. I loved that Better Call Saul. I love Breaking Bad. I try to go back and watch Breaking Bad. I've watched it a couple times now. It's hard for me to watch now after watching Better Call Saul, just because I don't know if I enjoyed Better Call Saul more, but you just forget how fucking dark and edge of your seat Breaking Bad is once you get into those season 2, 3, and it just like never stops. Like it's almost addicting. And then like a lot of people hated El Camino because it was short, and it's like I get it. It was a movie, and people don't realize like you've been watching the show, which is very slow pace for kind of for a little bit of it, and then it really ramps up. But El Camino was just like almost a lot of people were like it's too fast, it ended too quick, like how it was. I think they did El Camino fine. I liked it.
They needed to do something, and I don't think we were ready for a TV show. And if you were gonna do Saul's story and not do Jesse's, everyone would have been pretty pissed.
Yeah.
They'd have been like, okay, well, why not him? So it's fine. I don't. Again, I think it's the worst one of the trifecta. There is probably gonna be El Camino.
I agree. Probably the worst, but think about the scene that sticks with me with El Camino, and people say it went too fast. I agree because I wish it had been 4 2-hour episodes or whatever.
Yeah.
I wish it had been like 4 movies because we all wanted more, right? We wanted more. But that whole time where remember when Jesse's in the shower and he's getting everything cleaned off of him, and he's just upset and he's everything else. I feel like that scene went on for like half an hour of just that's how I felt like immersed in it. Like you could feel
because he had the PTSD and
and so to me it was like I'm like as quick as those couple hours or whatever went, that to me I felt like I was in that forever. Like and which is good because you feel it. You can just feel like
he felt bad. Yeah,
holy
really bad
hell.
for him.
Yeah. And and again, and even when that was done, I was like, can we just do 2 more hours? Can we just do a couple more? Just keep going a little bit but yeah, I don't know. Better Call Saul though. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Really good.
Love it.
Well, anyways, we'll wrap up the show here. Thank you so much for coming on, Joe. We'll plan another one here in the next couple of months if you're willing to come on. We'll shoot the shit. We have a lot more questions, topics, and stuff that we didn't cover today that we can get to in that one. Jackson, anything you wanted to say before we go? I mean, I know you kind of said
I wrapped
you
it
wanted.
up.
Yeah. Well, that was Gutterball 49.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up 49.
Okay.
I want to propose something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we set up and do this live from my camper
Yeah.
one day.
Yeah.
We should
Absolutely
do that.
We can.
doable.
We should
Just
do
need a
that.
Wi-Fi source and some good power, and we're fucking good to go.
Yeah. We got all the equipment.
Let's figure that out. I'll let you wrap up 49er right
All
now.
right, cool.
All right.
Right
All
on.
right, everybody. That was Gutterball 49. Whoa!